Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to review a book called Power of Positive Thinking. I don't know how many of you read, but if you haven't read, and this is a wonderful book for you to read, which can lift your spirits up and keep your energy high, and then lift you at least very uh, positive momentum and gives you. The book was written in back in 1953 by Mr. Norman Vincent Peale, and he had a wonderful books came out of after this also. But then this is one of the bestsellers. But definitely there is a worth reading, and then he does give a lot of life stories and how it can lift up your spirit and what is mindset is all about, and then how we have to keep and ourselves uh, influencing ourselves without taking that support of the external support. So how you can see yourself growing. So I strongly recommend, if you haven't read that book, to read that book. It's about 300 pages, but it's worth reading. I'm going to give you some glimpses of some of the points he mentions, which may be of your interest, and we definitely can lift your days and your life and moving forward. So, just to dive into it, human beings can alter their lives by altering the attitude of the mind. So, alter their lives by altering the attitude of the mind by William James. It's very profound to think. A man is what he thinks about all day long. That was one of the Mr. Emerson quotes he had mentioned. Conditions are created by thoughts far more powerfully than the thoughts created by the condition. It's a profound impact on this if you can reflect. So there's one point he mentioned: don't get the idea that you're at last carrying the world on your shoulders. Don't strain so hard and don't take yourself so seriously, which is also very profound. Sometimes that we do take things very seriously for the silly stuff which goes around in our life, which you should be avoiding. Change yourself so your work seems different. Plan your work, work your plan. If you think it's hard, you make it hard. And if you think it's easy, you make it easy. Every achievement in this world was projected as a creative idea. First idea, then faith in it, then the means of implementing the idea. That's the way success proceeds. Always approach your situation from the top so it seems small and simple. It's very, very important. That's nothing but of looking in a bigger picture. When you look at approach a situation from the top, and from the aerial view, everything seems very small. So I think you should keep an eye on that. Attitudes are more important than the facts. That is worth repeating until truth grips in you. So attitude is more important than the facts. Self-knowledge leads to cure. So every day learn, and stay positive. Don't try to copy other. Nobody can be you as efficiently as you can. To have a mind full of peace, merely fill it with full of peace. It's as simple as that. It's very important to eliminate negative ideas from your conversations on a daily basis. Words have a profound power, and this is very true. Whatever the nonsense we speak, chewing the garbage all the time is not required. So whether you speak, whenever you speak the thing which is necessary, and also keep filling yourself in a positive state of mind all the time. And in many areas of the book, you mentioned the silence is the element which great things can fashion themselves. So silence, keeping yourself in silence for 10-15 minutes is must and required if you can do that. The mind quickly responds to teachings and discipline. You can make the mind give you back anything you want, but remember, the mind can give back only what was first given. Keeping your thoughts with the peaceful experiences, peaceful words and ideas, and ultimately you will have a storehouse of peace producing experience to which You may return for refreshment and renewal of your spirit. It will be the vast source of power. So it's very important what we speak. To some people, it makes no difference what's going on, how things are going. Nothing makes any real difference to them except their own little worries and desires and hates. It's very true. In our brain, we have about 2 billion little storage batteries and we have thousands of little sending and receiving stations. So your mind is very powerful, guys. I've been telling this one, I read this, been reading about the mind power. It's unbelievable that what you can do with what you have. The way to live in this world is to have the childlike heart and mind. If you have a kids, I want to talk anything about that. Just observe the kids. They can be a wonderful teachers to us. The way they act, the way they express themselves, the way they show the love, that the way they pick up the things, the way they're intelligent enough to coming up with the solutions for the things that you think it's difficult is unbelievable. So you must, if you have fortunate enough to have a kids around you, please do watch and learn, and then if possible make a note on everything which is happening around you, which will give you two things. One, you will learn from them, and second, that will be great memory of the things what they do for you when they grow old and when you grow old. Learn the art of letting go all nervous excitement. Most of the time we hold for the things that which least matter. That's how many people have a nervous breakdown. Spend 2 to 3 minutes in a day thinking of most beautiful and peaceful scenes you have ever seen or observed, like a mountain, sunrise, sunset, sea, moonlight, etc. When you expect the best, you realize magnetic force in your mind, which by law of attraction tends to bring the best to you. Things become better when you expect best from any kind of situation. It means you put your whole heart into what you want to accomplish. A man who is self reliant, positive, optimistic, and undertakes his work with the assurance of success magnetizes his condition. He draws to himself the creative power of the universe. Whatever you take into your mind can grow there. Therefore, take the best into your mind and make it your obsession. So, nonsense you take in your mind, nonsense will grow. The best you put in your mind, the best will grow. It's very well defined and authentic principle that what mind profoundly expects to tends to receive. Perhaps this is true because what you really expect is what you actually want. Don't go crawling through life on your hands and knees, half defeated. Stand up to your obstacles and do something about them whenever it comes to you. It contains dynamic to keep one going when the going is hard. Any person can keep going when the things are going good, but some extra ingredient is needed to enable you keep fighting when everything seems going against you. One example gives a child responds to a game of kissing take away hurt, throwing away fear. The simple process works for the kids. When I coming back to the point, when they hurt, when they fall down, and when they hurt, and they cry and they come to you, and then you just kiss them, and then it takes away entire their pain. Even though they still the pain is there, but then they just go back and start doing their own stuff, thinking just ignoring the even the fact which happened, and which is very very true. What you imagine may ultimately become a fact if held mentally with a sufficient faith. So, most of the time, when we think about what might go wrong, because our mind is working on what might go wrong, is going to go wrong because that's how it is projecting. Faith can always overcome fear. Faith is the one power against which fear cannot stand. Brain cannot operate properly under pressure. So, spend some time in silence. Sleep, 7 to 8 hours sleep must. You must be obsessed with what you want. If mind is filled with fear, anxiety, tension, resentment, grudges, guilt, combination of all of them can cause you a lot of damage to a person. It is not a question of whether an illness is physical or emotional, but how much of each. Oh God, that's very profound. It's not a question of whether an illness is physical or emotional, but how much of each is affecting you is what is important. The more value you give to the world, the richer you get. That's definitely a fast. Your product and service must exist in this time, stand alone without you connecting it to it. Set a goal which is worthy of you. It's very profound. The more you lose yourself in something bigger than yourself, the more energy you will have. You don't have time to think about yourself and get bogged down into emotional difficulties. Everywhere you encounter people who are inwardly afraid, who shrink from life, who suffer from a deep sense of inadequacy and insecurity, who doubt their own powers, deep within themselves, they mistrust their ability to meet responsibility or to grasp responsibility. There is a tremendous activity always in process, but nature makes no strides, no noises, regardless of the vastness of its operation. Nature sounds are quiet, harmonious, and always on time. Whatever you are doing, give it all you got. Give every bit of yourself, holding nothing back. Life cannot deny itself to the person who gives life his all. But most people, unfortunately, don't do that. In fact, very few people do that. And this is a tragic cause of any failure, or if not failure, it is a reason we only half attain. It is always true that the greatest minds have the best ability to be simple. That is, they have the capacity to work out some simple plans for putting profound truths into operation. Practice believing that God is as real as actual as your wife or your business partner or your closest friend. Practice talking matters with God. Believe that He hears and gives you thought of a problem. You will be guided to actions according to the truth, which results in a right outcomes. No good thing is too good to be true. You have never seen, never heard, never even imagined the things God will give to those who love Him. All in all, guys, this is one of the best books. If you haven't read, I request you to do review this. It's about 300 pages. You know, you can read it and then keep yourself always stay positive and keep yourself moving, achieving whatever you want in your life, and supporting your families and communities around you. Thank you for staying tuned and be good to go and influence people around you. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.